This is a Cougar News election special, Decision 2008, with your hosts, Michael Bocelli and Lacey Ehrlich, and coverage of all the day's races from across the Santa Clarita Valley.
Information on the 17th District. George Runner is running against Bruce McFarland, and part of this district, it goes into the Antelope Valley. So it is not only the Santa Clarita Valley that this affects, it does go into part of the Antelope Valley. I guess you could say that state assembly runs in the family, as George Runner's wife Sharon is also a member of the state assembly.
And that's what we were talking about earlier when Bruce was in the studio. We were also talking about the redistricting, the way that district is set up. It's so widespread. So
exactly.
With one of the props, when it passes, hopefully we'll get some redistricting, and that's
right.
Prop 11.
And just like the 19th District, which includes part of the Santa Clarita Valley and then also incorporates most of the Santa Barbara and Ventura counties, that redistricting would sort of help make it so that each of the individual cities are districted together.
And again, we'd like to thank all the guests that attended tonight here. And again, we're here till about 11 o'clock, so about a little over another 45 minutes. And we'll catch you up with all the latest numbers. And we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back soon.
On November 7th, 2008, at our College of the Canyons, the City of Santa Clarita, the LA Department of Public Health, College of the Canyons, the Sheriff and Fire Departments of Los Angeles County will all be teaming up to provide a drive-through flu shot clinic. For more information, you can check out the city's website at santa-clarita.com.
The Santa Clarita Artists Association is hosting our annual fundraiser, the Art Classic. This gala event exhibits over 100 professionally judged original artwork by local artists. Come enjoy musical entertainment, hors d'oeuvres, and meet the artists in person. This year, the Art Classic will be held at Hart Hall on Sunday, November 9th from 2 to 6 p.m. The artwork will be on display for free public viewing on Saturday, November 8th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, call 618-0939 or visit us on the web.
Did you know the first gold in California was discovered right here in the Santa Clarita Valley, long before Sutter's Mill? Did you know our valley was the birthplace of the California oil industry? Did you know that when Los Angeles joined the rest of the country by rail, the tracks came together in Santa Clarita? You might know we're a popular location for filming, but did you know we always have been? Learn all about Santa Clarita's fascinating history at scvhistory.com or visit the Saugus Train Station Museum in Old Town Newhall, weekends 1 to 4.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Bocelli.
And I'm Lacey Ehrlich.
We actually have some numbers now on Proposition 1A, which is the Safe, Reliable, High-Speed Passenger Train Bond Act, which, again, high-speed train from Los Angeles to San Francisco. We have 50.8%, so just about 51% voting yes, and 49.2% voting no. Wow, tight race right there. 27, almost 28% precincts reporting. That's incredible. That's a tight race right there. Or about almost 30% of the precincts reporting. High-speed rail, again, from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and I believe it'll get you there in under 3 hours, I believe it is.
Yes, I think it's 2.5 hours, and not only to San Francisco, it can take you to the Sacramento areas as well. One thing that we did mention earlier, but I do want to reiterate, if the train is built, it will cost the state about $19.4 billion, and this doesn't include the yearly operational costs as well as the maintenance that it would take to keep that train running smoothly and effectively. We do have some more information on Prop 1A. So let's get some more information on that.
Actually, I believe we're going to go to the 38th District with...
Proposition 1A is asking voters to approve a $10 billion bond, which will partially fund an 800-mile high-speed train from San Francisco to Anaheim. To find out what impacts this measure would have on our community, I spoke with Councilmember Marcia McLean.
Speaking for Santa Clarita, there is no station planned for Santa Clarita itself. And of course, that means that our citizens would have to travel probably to Sylmar to catch this particular train. The environmental concerns are large. What they plan to do is they plan to tunnel through our canyons.
Another issue is the price of this project.
It's a very, very expensive project, and they're asking for many billions of dollars to be to come out of California's coffers. And at this time, there is no money. We are at least 50 to 75 years behind the times as far as providing the necessary transportation, especially here in California.
Although this proposal is expensive, some commuters think it's worth the price.
I'm a student here in Orange County, and if I want right now to go from Orange to Los Angeles, I have to take several Metrolink trains to go to Union Station and then another transferring train. But if there was one train that would go from Anaheim straight to Los Angeles, I could see my family much more.
Is this high-speed train worth the price and a step in the right direction towards increasing public transportation, or a costly project not worth the money and not effective enough to help reduce pollution and decrease traffic? For Cougar News, I'm Eric Scott.
Thanks, Eric. We're actually going to update you now on Proposition 2. I believe we have some numbers for Proposition 2, which is the standards for confining farm animals. So what this proposition does, it requires that certain farm animals be allowed to move the majority throughout the day. The numbers we have right now, 62, almost 63% reporting yes on Proposition 2, 37.3% with the no, and again, just about 28% of the precincts reporting. Let's go next to Proposition 3, the Children's Hospital Bond Act. 49.7%, basically 50% with a yes, right up 50% with a no. So we're almost neck and neck right there. So just a few percentage points, not even, dividing that one on there. Proposition 4, which is the waiting period for parental notification before termination of minor's pregnancy, we have 47, almost 48% with a yes, 52.1% with a no, and that's again almost 28% of the precincts reporting. Proposition 5, that is the nonviolent drug offenses, which we spoke to LA County District Attorney on that, Steve Cooley on that one. I believe that was for Proposition 5. Do we have numbers on Proposition 5? Yes, we do. 38% with a yes and 62% with a no, again with 28% of the precincts reporting. Proposition 6, let's see if we got numbers for that one. That's the police and law enforcement funding, the criminal penalties and laws. Numbers on Proposition 6, I actually have them right here. We have, here we go, 31% with a yes, 69% with a no, and again, that's almost about 22% of the precincts reporting. Let's see if we're going to go to Proposition 7. No, we're actually going to take it over to Carol Lutness with 38th District. I actually had a chance to sit down with Carol. She was in studio. I met with her about a week or so ago. Sat down with her, had a great interview, and here's a piece from that interview.
Primary goal is to do everything we can to fix this economy. We're in a crisis. We're at a tipping point, economically, socially, politically, and environmentally. And we have to pull together immediately. The end of partisan bickering is done. We're over with that. Because when you're on a sinking ship, you don't ask, oh, are you a Presbyterian? Because I can't work with Presbyterians. I can only work with Baptists. We don't do that. We can't bicker about partisan philosophies and partisan agendas. We have got to work seriously together on this, on fixing this economy. We cannot have scores of people cast out of their homes and not being able to pay for their child to go to the doctor, or not to be able to afford to put gasoline in their gas tank to go to work. One of the big reasons I'm running is that I cannot leave this world to my 11-and-a-half-year-old granddaughter, Isabella, or any child in the terrible shape that it's in, environmentally, socially, politically, and economically. I can't do that. And we must be tough in really addressing these problems. Half measures will avail us nothing. We must be really tough in enforcing good air quality. We must be tough in making sure that our water is not squandered and used unnecessarily. And this whole growth mentality, you gotta grow, and you gotta buy stuff, buy, because we gotta borrow money to be able to buy more stuff, because we gotta keep the economy going. I believe what we're looking at right now, this economic collapse, is reflective of a very failed policy based on that conspicuous consumption and the urban sprawl type of thing. And we must immediately begin to believe that we have to work together towards developing a real sustainable economy.
We have some numbers now for that 38th district with Cameron Smythe and Carol Lutness. Let's see if we got those numbers for it. Here we go. Cameron Smythe with 61% of the vote and Carol Lutness at 39%. Again, that's with 18% of the precincts reporting.
Again, Cameron Smythe was the former mayor of the city of Santa Clarita. He's very popular among the people here. I know a lot of the voters. I've met him before. He's a very nice man. I know a lot of the voters feel the same way. So we'll have to see, like we said before, that's a very low percentage of votes that are in, so we'll kind of just have to see how that plays out. We will keep you guys posted on the updates. And we're going up to the 11 o'clock hour. We're almost at 10:30, so throughout the rest of the night, we will get those numbers updated for you. After the break, we will show you some more information from Nenore Corey and Aaron Fitzgerald, who were at Republican headquarters. We'll see you after the break.
Santa Clarita is Southern California's entertainment destination. Just minutes from LA, Santa Clarita's year-round weather means you can enjoy year-round fun. Like thrilling coasters and water parks, premium shopping, destination day spas, fine dining, outdoor adventure, and major events such as wine festivals, golf tournaments, and the Cowboy Festival. Santa Clarita, always in season.
Pregnant? Scared? Alone? Sometimes knowing where to go for help is half the battle. You want straight, honest answers you can trust. At the SCV Pregnancy Center, you'll receive the personal care and support you need to make informed decisions at this important time in your life. The choice is yours. Choose to know. All services are free.
Hi, I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Sally Field.
I want to introduce you to a very special place.
Lark Ranch began almost 50 years ago. It was started by a group of visionary parents who were not willing to accept institutional surroundings for their developmentally disabled children.
Lark is a unique facility with a community of individuals who are all special and contributing members not only of Lark, but of the larger community of Santa Clarita.
But they need your help to maintain this outstanding program and continue to deliver to its residents the kind of care that will help keep Lark Ranch operating for another 50 years.
Please give generously.
And let's continue the miracle of Lark.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Bocelli.
And I'm Lacey Ehrlich.
I believe we have some numbers now for the national presidential election. Let's go to the board and take a look at that. Again, we have John McCain with 156 electoral votes, and we have Senator Barack Obama with 338 electoral votes. Well, we all know that you only need, and that's from, again, MSNBC reporting, you only need 270 votes electorals to get in. So it looks like our new president of the United States is Senator Barack Obama, now President of the United States, Barack Obama. Unbelievable.
It's interesting, like we were saying before, it's exciting to see, like all of our guests have said, it's exciting to see what kind of changes he's going to make. I know we were talking about the first 100 days and how important that is. There it is right there, 52% of the popular vote going to Barack, 47% to John McCain, and that's 80%, so that's, you know, we're 20% away, so there it is. I mean, 52%. At the same time, though, that is only 80%. You never know that 20% could affect some things, so. I don't know how much, but 80% is a large number, and that percentage is, you know, I mean, 330 electoral votes. Right, I mean. 270 needed. Looks like he's got it. I think so. And I believe you have something for us? Yeah, you know, we're actually, just to go over things again, we do want to remind you that you can always look at the-signal.com for more information. We are going to keep you guys updated on what we have coming into us so far. And the signal.com is actually, after we go off the air at 11 o'clock, again, to keep updated on the numbers. And tomorrow morning, again, check www.the-signal.com. Right, and numbers. Just coming in now, we do have an interview with Nenore Corey. She sits down with Buck McKeon. Nenore?
Hello, I'm Nenore Corey, and I'm standing here with Congressman Buck McKeon. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing Well, I've done better, but it's a great night. Great night. Lots of wonderful people here. People have worked so hard to be a part of the great system that we're involved in. I would have liked different results, but I think it just makes you proud to be an American, where we can elect our leaders, and whether we voted for them or not, we can get behind and support them, the winner.
How many House seats do you expect the GOP to lose tonight, and what's your reaction to that?
I don't want to lose any, but I think that what we're seeing on the results looks like we could lose 20 seats. Now, there have been people predicting that we could lose 30, 40, 50 seats. So I was talking to one of my colleagues a couple days ago, and he said if we lost 20, it would be a big victory. And I think with the headwind running against all year, that while I hate to see us lose any, 20 is as my friend said, probably a victory for us. I've had some real good friends, members of my committee that I've worked with. I really tried hard to help them in their elections that it looks like they're going to lose. So I really am going to miss them. I think they were good members of Congress, good representatives of their constituents, hardworking members. I hate to see them lose, but you know, we'll move forward.
What does Obama's victory mean to the GOP?
What does Obama's victory mean to the GOP? It means that there will be a Democrat in the White House instead of a Republican. It means that I'm not sure that people really understand how much difference there was between these two candidates. You know, things get blurred during a convention, and everybody tries to run into the middle to try to get as many voters for them as they can. But if they really studied where the two candidates were, there's a real difference. And I'm concerned that when Mr. Obama is talking about change, that they really want to move us to the left. And now that they have control of the House and the Senate and the White House, looking at who their leader is, Ms. Pelosi in the House and Mr. Reid in the Senate, they're all pretty far left. George Miller is the chairman of the Education Committee, good friend of mine. We get along very well personally, but we're so far apart ideologically. The things that they would like us to do, when I'm back in Washington, I have a townhouse in Virginia across the river from D.C., and my congressman there is Jim Moran, and I heard him today on
out in his hectic schedule to meet with us here at Cougar News. Earlier we had the interview with Buck, and again tonight he took the time out. The thing about Congressman Buck McKeon, he has done so much here for the Santa Clarita Valley, and it's great to have him here locally doing what he does.
Right, and I mean, he's been in here so long. I believe that this is his 9th year running to be reelected.
Yeah, and his numbers right now looks like he's on his way to another election.
Exactly.
And again, I can't say it enough for Congressman Buck McKeon, what he's done here for Santa Clarita with the mining that could possibly been happening in Soledad Canyon that was sent over to Victorville. But it's just great to have him here locally.
Exactly, and we also want to remind you that in addition to thesignal.com, you also have hometownstation.com. We spoke with the co-owner, Carl Goldman, earlier on in the show. Please look that up later on in the evening after we're off the air for additional updates.
Yeah, I just want to say that's another great thing. To have Carl here as co-owner of KHTS, that is a great radio station here locally to listen to, not just during emergencies, but anytime. When you wake up and you're driving to work locally, put it on. Listen, they got great shows in the morning that you can get so much information from here locally.
Exactly. We also, right now, we have at the Republican headquarters, we have Erin Fitzgerald. She had the chance to sit down with Lynn Vacay, who's the campaign coordinator, to give us her thoughts on the outcome of the election. Erin?
Hello again, this is Erin Fitzgerald reporting from Republican headquarters. I'm here with Lynn Vacay, who is the Santa Clarita Valley Republican headquarters campaign director. And Lynn, what has your role been in this election?
Mainly just to mobilize local volunteers into campaigning, getting out the vote for our Republican candidates, and some of the propositions we've really been active in helping local groups get it, like Proposition 8, and that's pretty much it, mobilizing our area to support the Republican ticket.
And how did you get involved?
I was hired by the 38th Assembly District elected Central Committee to do the job. So.
And how's your night been going so far?
And the night is actually good. I'm reminding people, I mean, of course I'm disappointed in the presidential election, but I'm very encouraged by the numbers we're seeing in all of our local races, which that's a huge goal. It looks like we're going to accomplish our goal for all of our local races. So.
And what are the most important local issues to you?
Local issues or local candidates, or
the candidates that you'd like to be elected, or the issues that are being elected?
I'm thrilled, of course, that Cameron Smythe is reelected, and or looks like he's going to be. Buck McKeon, of course. I'm a huge fan of Buck and have been for years. Strickland, it looks like he's going to pull this one out, and that's the one we've worked the hardest on. Our team has really mobilized around his campaign and worked really hard in this area to get Tony elected, so that's looking good. And then Proposition 8 is close to my heart too, so I'm glad that it's looking good too right now.
And what do these results mean to you personally?
Personally, I believe that I'm concerned for our nation, our national. I am very concerned. I think that especially if the Democrats take the House and the Senate, we are going to see some radical changes nationally that long term are going to be not a good thing for America long term, and mainly just economically, even some social issues. I mean, I believe America was founded on valuing family, traditional marriage, and encouraging that virtue. You know, John Adams said that this country, or our Constitution, was made for a moral and religious people, and it is wholly inadequate for any other. And I really, really strongly believe that America is losing that understanding, and when you lose that, when you lose your moral compass, you start needing more taskmasters to control you. And that's what I see happening under an Obama presidency. We're going to be more controlled. We're going to be told where we can work, how much we can make, and where we can go and where we can live, and who gets a part of the money that we work to earn. So I'm very concerned. So.
But things are looking up, right?
Well, things are looking up locally, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
Well, great job. You've done very well in your job and your position in this election. So thank you again, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks for the report there, Aaron. Again, Aaron was talking to Lynn Vacay, who is the head coordinator for the Republican campaign. She was talking about, again, Congressman Buck McKeon and Cameron Smythe. Looks like they're going to be winning again in the election. Again, we want to recap the folks who are helping us out here tonight at Channel 20. We have SCV TV, College of the Canyons, Academy of the Canyons, and again, West Ranch High School. We're here again till 11 o'clock tonight, so we have about a little over 20 minutes. But so tomorrow for final numbers, again, be sure to check out two websites, www.hometownstation.com, KHTS 1220, AM 1220, and also the Signal at www.the-signal.com.
Just coming in, we have some new information on the Castaic Lake Water Agency, the at-large district. We now have 25% of the voters who have actually voted. We now have Cooper at 72.52%, just about 73%, David Clark at 10%, and Gary Lysick at 18%. We are, like I said before, we're at 25% of the precincts reporting.
And I believe we might have some numbers on Measure R if we're ready to take those numbers. Let's see what we got here. Measure R, yes, we got 16% of the precincts reporting at about 65% with a yes and 35% with a no. And again, that's for County Measure R.
And again, we have some new information. We're going to go to Nenore Corey with Lori Ender at the Republican headquarters. Nenore?
Hello again, I'm Nenore Corey. I'm joined here with City Council member Lori Ender. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great, thanks.
Now I understand you're a volunteer tonight for Tony Strickland's campaign. How's that been going?
We had a great day today. It was a lot of fun working on the campaign. He's a terrific guy, and I felt really strongly that he would be a great representative for Santa Clarita. So I had a couple friends, and we worked today checking our polling place and making lots of phone calls and encouraging people to get out and vote.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about Tony Strickland and what he stands for, what issues he stands for.
Well, one of the things that appeals to me most about Tony is that he's a dad. He has 2 young kids, and I really think he has an eye on the future of California. That's important to me as a parent and living in a community like Santa Clarita that has so many young children. He's very fiscally responsible, so he's going to make sure that hopefully we don't get in a bigger mess in Sacramento than we have been in with some of the budget issues, and I really like that about him. I also was very impressed that he really reached out to the residents of Santa Clarita. Our districts are such strange shapes that part of Santa Clarita is represented by Senator George Runner, and then if all goes well tonight, then Tony Strickland will have the other part. And it was terrific that he really came out, got involved, walked the district, met his constituents, and I really liked him.
How do you think he'll do tonight?
Well, it looks good so far. All the votes aren't in, but it looks like he's going to win, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it greatly, and I will send it back to you in the studios.
Thank you, Nenore. We also want to thank Lori Ender for taking the time to sit down with us and give us her thoughts on the election. Just as we said at the beginning, we know that normally at this time you would be viewing the Planning Commission meeting at City Hall. We just want to remind you that you can view this tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. as well as on Monday at 9 a.m. if you're interested in viewing that.
And again, on a historical night here, not only in Santa Clarita, but for the whole country, for the United States. Again, we have Barack Obama as our new president of the United States. And some of the measures that we're looking into, of course, the ones that we're keeping track on, the major ones that people are pushing, again, 1A, basically all of them, but 1A, Proposition 1A, Proposition 8. And then locally, we have the Measure S, Measure R, and Measure SANU.
It seems like Proposition 8 has been something that it's been, just as much and just as crucial as the actual presidential election. We've seen people, out on the streets holding up signs. It's really been a big deal, and a lot of people have really put their heart into both sides, yes and no. So it'll be interesting to see how that one turns out.
How about when you drive down Bouquet and right at Bouquet and Valencia, every corner is just crowded with folks.
Not even that, but you have Valencia and McBean. I mean, almost every single day, they're there.
Okay. We're actually going to take a break, and be sure to tune back with us.
Cougar News Election Special, Decision 2008. Here again, Michael Bocelli and Lacey Ehrlich.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Bocelli.
And I'm Lacey Ehrlich.
We actually have some new numbers on the propositions here in California we're going to run through. We're going to start with Proposition 1A, the Safe, Reliable, High-Speed Passenger Train. We have 50.8%, basically 51% with a yes, 49.2% with a no, 30% of the precincts reporting. Let's go to Prop 2. Prop 2, we got 62, almost 63% with a yes, 37.3% with a no, and 30% precincts reporting. Prop 3, Children's Hospital Bond Act, 50% with a yes, 49.8, almost 50% with a no. That's a close one right there. We got to watch that one. Let's go to Prop 4. The waiting period for parental notification before termination of minor's pregnancy, 47.9% with a yes, 52.1% with a no, 30% of the precincts reporting. Prop 5, the nonviolent drug offenses, 38% with yes, 62% with no, again 30% precincts reporting. Prop 6, the police and law enforcement funding, we got numbers of 31% with a yes and 69% with a no, and 30% precincts reporting.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you about Proposition 7, the renewable energy generation. We are at, 34% with a yes and a 66% with a no at 30% of the precincts reporting. For Proposition 8, which is the constitutional same-sex marriage ban, we're at 52.4% with a yes and 47.6% with a no. Again, we're still at some close races with a lot of these propositions. On to Proposition 9, which is the Victims' Rights Constitutional Amendment. We're at 54.1% with a yes and a 45.9% with a no. Again, 30% of the precincts reporting. Proposition 10, which provides alternative fuel and renewable energy, we're at 37.5% yes and 62.5% no. Again, like the others, 30% of the precincts are reporting. On to Proposition 11, which is the redistricting that we told everybody about earlier. We're at 52.6% with a yes and 47.4% with a no. Lastly, we're at Proposition 12, which is the Veterans Board Act. We're at 62% with a yes and a 38% with a no. Again, like I said before, some of these are pretty close, and we will keep you updated all the way up until we're over at 11 o'clock.
And after that, again, if we don't have final numbers, which we may not, you can tune in two ways. Tomorrow morning, you can check out www.hometownstation.com or www.the-signal.com. The Signal, of course, our local newspaper, and Hometown Station, which is KHTS AM 1220, our local radio station here.
And we now have some information coming in from Aaron Fitzgerald, who was able to sit down with Bob Keller at the Republican headquarters. Aaron?
Hi again, it's Aaron Fitzgerald at Republican headquarters in Valencia. I'm here with Mayor Bob Keller. Mayor, how's your night been?
Well, it's been an interesting evening, to say the least. And
how you feeling?
I tell you, this is Republican headquarters. I think we just elected a Democrat president.
If the vote was up to you and you had your ideal outcome, what would it be?
Aaron, I want you to repeat that question.
If the vote was up to you and you had your ideal outcome, what would it be?
We'd have McCain and Paulin in as president right now, without question, obviously.
And what do the results so far mean to the Santa Clarita Valley?
Well, you know, I'm not so certain it's going to mean that significant a change in the Santa Clarita Valley. But I want to tell you something. I think that the Republican Party, which is my party, we need to make certain that we stay connected with the people. They need to understand what the message is of the Republican Party. I don't think we have effectively been able to communicate that recently, and we need to do a better job. Because, in my honest opinion, we could do better than Barack Obama.
And what were some of the more important issues as surrounding the election, the propositions that meant the most to you?
If you talk about the propositions, I will tell you the biggest one was Proposition 8, of course. And with me, excuse me, but marriage is a man and a woman. That's an easy one for me. And I know there are people that disagree, but that is my personal opinion. And that really is not a Republican perspective nor a Democratic perspective. having to do with some of the other propositions, perhaps the ones having to do with narcotics offenders and so forth. I'm of the opinion that people that will disobey the law need to pay the penalty, and they need to be taken out of society to protect society. And that's just my opinion. I'm a very strong conservative as an old retired police officer, okay? We need to take a hard look at what we're doing in this country. I feel very strong that we need to pay attention to what the forefathers brought forth to create this great country of America. And it was brought together on certain principles that are articulated very, very well in our Constitution. And I invite and I really strongly support the American people that they stop and reflect and understand the importance of these principles, because this is what has made America great. And I sincerely am concerned that the American people are forgetting these principles. If we forget those principles, we could seriously be in jeopardy. And I know that's a very conservative statement, but I feel very strong about it.
How do you feel about the outcomes of Proposition 8 so far? It looks like Proposition 8 is doing so good so far in the polls. And,
and thank you. It's my understanding that Proposition 8 is probably going to go forward with a yes vote, and I feel good about that. But I want to go back to something. And as a diehard Republican, I am going to support the outcome of this election, and I'm going to support our new President of the United States. Okay? I think that we all need to recognize the importance of that. This has been elected through a proper process, the new President of the United States, and I'm going to support that man and all the things that he does for this great nation of ours.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. You did great. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Aaron. We want to give you guys an update on Measure R, which we've been talking about. Reduces foreign oil, it fixes potholes and synchronizes the lights within the valley and improves freeway traffic. We have some new results. It's coming in at a yes at 65.71% and a no at 34.29%. Even though it looks like it's winning, we want to remind you that just because the yes is the higher percentage, it is losing because it does need that 2/3 vote. So we're still going to keep you guys posted on that. We still are at 23% of the precincts reporting. We'll keep you posted. Keep in mind that you can check the websites we listed earlier for updated information later on in the evening. We also have Measure S. That one reduces the chloride levels in the Santa Clara River. Right now, 60.77% with the yes, basically 61, and 39.23 with the no. That's 10% of the precincts reporting. Let's go over to Measure SA, which is the Hart Bond, the Hart Union High School District Special Election. Measure SA, 54.32% with a yes, 45.68% with a no. Remember, this one needs a 55% to pass. We're just about there at 54, but if it does not reach 55, it will not pass. Then we want to go back over to Measure U, which we had talked about earlier. Just to recap for you, Measure U will lower taxes on utilities for all unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County, but add taxes onto more devices such as cell phones, text messages, calling, things like that. We have the results here. For a yes, we're at 65.73% and a no at 34.27%. We're a little higher on these percentages at 41%, but still we have some time. We'll see if those change. We'll keep you posted. We're going to take a break for now, but we'll be back with more numbers. Stay tuned.
안녕.
konnichiwa.
아이보안.
Hey, Pare.
Salam.
Bonjour.
Namaste.
Привет.
Zdravo. Привіт.
Cougar News Election Special, Decision 2008. Here again, Michael Bocelli and Lacey Ehrlich.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Bocelli.
And I'm Lacey Ehrlich.
And I believe we're going to go for some numbers we have for you right now on the 19th district, I believe it might be. Let's see what we got here. Yes, it's the 19th district. Tony Strickland at 46.9% and Hannah-Beth Jackson 53.1%. So again, Hannah-Beth Jackson holding her lead, and that's with about 31% of the precincts reporting.
We're going to move on to the Castaic Lake Water Agency. We now have 26.63% reporting. We have Gary Lysick at 18%, David Clark at 10%, and Bill Cooper at 72%. As I said, that's 26.63% of the precincts reporting. As we said before, there are 4 districts in the Castaic Lake Water Agency.
And I believe we're going to go right now to the reporter who's over at the GOP party.
Thanks again for tuning in to Cougar News' coverage of the 2008 election.
Although the presidential results tonight have not been ideal for the Republican Party, things are looking up for the local candidates. Reporting from the Valencia Republican headquarters, I'm Nenora Corey.
And I'm Erin Fitzgerald. Good night.
Canyons.edu, is that our email address? Cougarnews@canyons.edu. Okay, we're back. Actually, we want to, again, recap the night. We're almost at our final minutes of, it's almost at the 11 o'clock hour.
Right, we just want to remind you that we only have a little bit of time left, so for all the updates that we're not able to give you, we want to remind you that you can go to hometownstation.com. Again, that's the KHTS radio station website. They'll give you complete updates throughout the night as well as tomorrow about the election updates.
And also we have the Signal. Don't forget about the Signal, www.the-signal.com. For all the local numbers here and the numbers for across the country. Be sure to tune into those websites tomorrow morning. And if you have any news tips or questions, you can email us at cougarnews@canyons.edu. So, again, we got numbers up. What do we have? 25th District, Congressman Buck McKeon at 63%. Jackie Conaway, 37%. That's with 23% of the precincts reporting. Again, that's for the 25th District in the U.S. Congress.
We just want to take some time to thank the rest of the people that have helped us throughout the evening get this show going.
We sure do. We have a list here. SCV-TV, of course, College of the Canyons, the Academy of the Canyons, West Ranch High School, Channel 20, Time Warner here that we're on right now.
And then we also have some of the local races that we want to keep you updated on. We have the California State Senate 17th District. We have George Runner coming in at 62% and Bruce McFarland at 38%. Again, as we said, this is only at 17% of the precincts reporting, so there is still some time for these numbers to change. Please keep that in mind.
I believe we have some more numbers up. I believe we're going to Prop 8. We have 52.4% with a yes. 47.6% with a no. Those numbers are tight, but it's starting to widen just a little bit more. We're at 30% of the precincts reporting. This one here, Prop 8, is, I would say, the next highest to the presidential election here in the country. The money that was put into Prop 8.
I agree. We're going to move on to Proposition 4, which is the parental notification about abortion. We're now at 47.9% for a yes and a 52.1% for a no. Again, still at 30% of the precincts reporting, so there is still some time to get more information on that one.
Let's see what we got next. Proposition 6, the law enforcement funding. We have 31% with a yes, 69% with a no, and again, that's with 30% of the precincts reporting. And again, we have the LA Superior, I believe the LA County District Attorney Steve Cooley on the line with us earlier about that one.
And now to cover Proposition 1A, we're at 50.8% yes and a 49.2% no. We also want to go over the 38th district. We're at 20.9% of precincts reporting. We're now at 59.9% for Cameron Smythe and 40.1% for Carol Lutness. Again, we still have some time like we explained before, so these numbers could change.
I believe we might be getting some more numbers in right now at the last minute. Here we go with some more numbers. Let's see what we got.
For the 19th district, we have 31% of the precincts reporting. We have Hannah-Beth Jackson still coming in at around 53%, as well as Tony Strickland at 47%. So Hannah-Beth Jackson is keeping that lead. We'll have to see where that goes in the additional time.
Yeah, we're going to try to take you to the final minute of our newscast with the latest numbers that we're getting here. Again, the 19th district, we have Tony Strickland at 47%. And Hannah-Beth Jackson at 53%, with about 31% of the precincts reporting on that one. Let's see if we have any more coming up. No more? Okay, well, it's been a great historical night. Again, I want to thank SCV-TV, College of the Canyons, Academy of the Canyons, West Ranch High School, all of the folks that were here with Kelly and the interviews. It's just been a wonderful night, and I want to thank you, Lacey.
Thank you. We just want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you for joining us for this live edition of Cougar News. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.